What's up, fellow hobbyists? OA Gamer here, bringing you another Far East Wargamers product review. Today we're going to take a look at some of the new infantry units from Forge World that have been released recently for 30K. We have some new models for the Blood Angels, and we also have some new models for the First Legion, the Dark Angels, that we're going to take a look at. So, talking about Blood Angels, everybody's favorite boys in red. I'm building a Blood Angels force myself. We've got a new unit. Actually, it's not a new unit, it's new models. It's the Dawnbreaker Cohort, which we've had rules for ever since the release of Book 8. But we didn't have official models until now, and I got to say, looking at the screen, these things are incredible. And I'm not just saying that as a fanboy. There's certain Forge World models I don't like. These ones I do, and if you just take a look at them, I'll kind of tell you why. So it's got the aggressive look back for the Blood Angels versus this kind of death mask look on the helmets, which I don't particularly care for. I really like the helmets on these. I really like the way the armor is done. It's Mark IV armor, which is typically found more common with Blood Angels forces, and it's not overly decorated. So we've got some of the filigree on the legs, along the torso. We've got some nice shoulder pads. That's a new unique shoulder pad design on that left shoulder for each of the models. Really great work here, which I really like. I think the other thing that really sticks out about these models to me is we have a new jump pack variant, which looks kind of like a hybrid love child between a Mark IV and a Mark II/Mark V backpack with the twin turbines. Yet that central housing definitely looks like the Mark IV. So these are really interesting as well, because I can see all the conversion fanatics out there wanting to put some of these on their Blood Angels characters. They look really good, they look different, they look unique. So nice models, I can't really say enough about them. So let's take a little bit closer look at some of the other photographs on the website. So taking a look, we see here the models in resin on a white background. Can't really tell too much out of this. We do have the flight stands. I'm really not crazy about the flight stands. I think anytime that you put the models on these types of bases, it leads to all kinds of hassles. If you glue the model to the flight stand, they break off quite easily, as we've seen with a lot of other Games Workshop products. If you pin them, they can be kind of a pain in the butt to pin. So if I was building these models myself, I'd probably ditch the flight stand and build the guys like perched on some rubble or some pieces of a building that are sticking up. That would probably be one small complaint I have about them. The other question that I have, because we haven't seen the full package for these, is how much of the models are equipped with spears and how many are equipped with the Equinox power blades. We really don't know that. Do we get enough to give all 5 guys a spear? Do we get enough pieces to give all 5 guys a power blade? Can't really tell. It doesn't say it in the description, it doesn't say it on the pictures, so we have no idea whether we can equip them all with the same weapons. So that's one other small criticism that I would make about these. But taking a look, close-ups here, the detail looks fantastic. It's obvious that these were probably made with the newer molds that have been coming out from Forge World, with a lot more crisp detail, less of the mold lines. They look really good. We won't be able to judge fully until we get them in our hands, but the pictures themselves look quite nice. Those jump packs, and before we talk about jump packs, the world's most useless 360-degree photograph is right here, ladies and gentlemen. You can turn the guys 360 degrees, but all you're going to see is their fronts, because they're sitting in a circle. I have no idea why Games Workshop did that, but I'm not going to use that picture at all, because it's kind of pointless. But this one's really good because it talks about the jump pack. It gives you the detail on the back. Again, this is a new design, unlike anything else that we've seen, combining different designs. In my opinion, I like it. It looks good. I want some extras to stick on my Blood Angels characters. I really like that a lot. And again, I like these helmets as well. It gets away from the face or the sculpture, the typical Greek sculpture look that we have for a lot of the Blood Angels, and it gets back to a more aggressive look with the visor. The helmets are really nice. So really like these models. I can't say enough about them. Again, the only questions I have is, do we get enough weapons for equipping all the guys the same, and do something better than those flight stands, because they're so annoying. And let's talk a little bit about what people were doing before the models came out. So if you were like me and there was no official model, then you were probably doing something like this, which was taking Sanguinary Guard models and converting them over to be your Dawnbreaker Cohort, which, in my opinion, honestly, the Dawnbreaker Cohort models are much better than the Sanguinary Guard. I don't like these models really at all. I hate that mask. I think it's overplayed. The armor itself is more of the Mark 7 and beyond design. It's not based on a Mark 4 or a Mark 3. It's just not my favorite. So even converting these over, I wasn't completely happy with them. But I gotta say, if you look at that price point, $40 for 5 models in plastic versus 86 for 5 guys in resin, that one might be a little bit tricky of a decision to make, because you could take 10 of these guys and convert them over to be your Dawnbreaker cohort versus paying for 5 guys. So again, it's up to you. It just depends on which style that you like, but I think I like the style of the Forge World model a lot better than converting over the Sanguinary Guard models, but to each their own. In addition to the Blood Angels, and we've gotten a lot of Blood Angels miniature porn over the last 6 weeks or 6 months, really, if you think about it. We've got new Contemptor models. We've got a brand new Praetor. We've got the Crimson Paladins. We've just got all kinds of great stuff that have come out from the Blood Angels. But we're also getting some love for other legions, including the First Legion. And Warhammer Community has dropped another teaser for us recently that shows some new models coming out. We talked in a separate video about vehicles, but I'd like to focus here on these First Legion models, the Interemptors. So part of the Dreadwing, that aspect of the First Legion that uses all the nasty forbidden weapons to purge his foes, these guys are it. And I gotta say, they look pretty nice as well. We don't have any rules for them yet. Those probably aren't gonna release until Book 9. But we do see some more beautiful models coming out from Forge World. And so these guys are based on the Mark III armor, but they've got a lot of decoration to them. You can see the unique torsos. You can see the chain details on the arms and on the legs. You can see these new helmets, which I'm really, really excited about, because these don't look the same as the typical DA upgrades that we've seen in the past. It's definitely a more unique, more Teutonic Knight look. I like the helmet a lot. But I think the most interesting thing that we got to talk about is what the heck is this weapon? Because if you look at the description, you've got plasma burners. Okay, well, that's a new weapon type. We haven't seen that before, and we know that the Dark Angels are fanatics when it comes to using plasma. And if we look at the model itself, that looks like a plasma gun and a flamer had a baby. That's the plasma burner right there. So I don't know the rules, but just based on the look, you can see here that little ignition thing that you would see typically on a flamer. Based on the look, I have to guess that these are plasma-based flamers, which could be brutal if you think about it. A squad of 5 jumping out of a Rhino and dropping down AP2 templates. Ouch. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that, and your Terminator Death Star probably doesn't want to be on the receiving end either. But they look great, so remains to be seen what the rules are. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe they get reined in. Maybe they're only AP3 or something like this. Who knows? But those look pretty nice, and I'm sure that the Dark Angels players out there are excited about some of the new models that are coming their way. So let me know what you think in the comments. Give us a like, subscribe. If there's other things that you want to see us cover or areas that you see us want to improve or change, then by all means leave us some comments and let us know how you feel. So until next time, this is OA Gamer with another Far East Wargamers product review.